Hey everyone, if you like Shadowrun, and I think you probably do if you're listening to this, then you'll probably like the GM screen videos that we make over on YouTube. They're short little 3 to 5 minute rules explanation videos that help people quickly understand some of the more esoteric and difficult rules in Shadowrun. Like, for example, have you ever wondered how to shoot through barriers? Or can't remember how addiction tests work in Shadowrun? Or how about vehicular combat or selling your gear on the black market? That's what GM Screen is all about. The short videos, they present the rules in easy to understand ways that are fun to watch. So if you want to check it out, just go to youtube.com/complexaction. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, as it stands right now, we are able to put out a GM screen video roughly every other week. And that's great. We love it. But we want to put them out every single week. Every week, a new video. But in order to do that, we need to hit our next milestone goal on the Complex Action Patreon. We're very close to doing it, and I know we can accomplish it. As of this recording, we're about $29 away from that goal. That means that even a small monthly contribution will help us get even closer. If you're not familiar with Patreon, well, that's how this show is funded, and that's how GM Screen gets made and made better and faster. It's a monthly subscription type donation service. Go to patreon.com/complexaction and find out more. There are benefits to being a patron, so check it out. Get access to GM notes for this actual play, or even get custom designed complex action dice sent to you every single month. So, like I said, patreon.com/complexaction. Check it out. If you like what you see here, consider becoming a patron, or don't. That's okay too. We are committed to giving this content free every week, and we'll always do that. But every little bit of support helps us out. Once we hit the goal that I was talking about, we can start pumping out GM screen videos faster and faster in order to keep helping people play Shadowrun. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Listening to the Complex Action Actual Play podcast. It's Stakeout time for the Shadowrun team. They're taking this run very seriously and planning very carefully. If only Payday could learn to use his words more carefully, then he might avoid awkward father-daughter type conversations with Hailey. Weird and awkward. Now please enjoy episode 13, The Stakeout.
And just to put all my cards on the table, you got to see Party Girl, my roto drone. You have yet to see Silverback. Silverback, I've got stowed away. If we need to extract ourselves, that's the cavalry. But it's loud. It's real loud.
Are we talking lethal or non-lethal?
It only knows lethal.
It's a corp. You want to make enemies, you go lethal. Let's try to keep it non-lethal for now. People are expensive. But first we need to decide how to get out. Getting out's easy usually, right? Getting in's the hard part. So, does anybody have corp contacts? ID manufacturers? Know a good cleaner? Anything?
I'm going to call a friend. Basically, I'm going to compile a data sprite to go find out some information about the host, level 6.
All right.
I had 4.
You got 4 net hits. So
excellent.
I think fading has to be a minimum of 2, right? So.
Yeah, same with green.
Got a quick question. The Diamondback Motorcycle Club, what area are they in?
And that's where their territory is, but their business is smuggling, so they find themselves all over Columbia.
All right, I'm gonna want to call them Marauder in a little bit. But...
Sure thing. Let's you got the data sprite is what do they call it? Summoned? Compiled.
Compiled. I need some information about blue data, blueprints, where their secret room is, information about their security.
All right. What exactly would you like me to take a look at? Just general, you want me to look around for stuff about this blue data?
Yeah, but I need information specific to, I need blueprints of the facility and maybe if there's any secret rooms.
All right, I think so you have, I guess what you would call, are they called tasks?
Yeah.
Okay, not services, tasks. I like to get the terminology right. So I think we'll call, like, if you can give it some specific pieces of information, each one that it can look for, it can definitely do, like, sort of like searches and everything for that, and we'll call each one of those a task, and that we'll roll. So for example, if you want him to find blueprints of the building,
Yes.
the sprite, we'll call that one task. It'll go out and it'll try to find it and see what it can do.
Okay.
So go ahead and for that, I guess, do if it's not going to be, because it's not going to go and handle, it's not going to like go in anyway. Just do it. We'll call that a matrix perception type thing. So like what, computer plus intuition?
Okay. That's 12.
All right, you can go ahead and
Sorry,
roll
I
it
got
for me.
4.
Yeah, 4. All right. I'm going to roll it a couple more times actually on my end, and I'll tell you how long it takes, because I think this will be sort of extended.
Okay.
While that's going on, what else we got going on?
You want to do me?
Yeah, baby.
So as the Diamondback guys smuggling stuff, I would want to call up Marauder, ask him a couple of questions about, not getting stopped by the cops on the highways in that area.
The Marauder answers and says, hey, how's it going, man?
Riding.
Yeah, boy. So you're trying to get out into that northeast part of town through the wall and whatnot?
Not so much the getting out that I'm worried about, more so about how hard the bigger roads in that area are, patrolled.
Well, those the highly trafficked roads you're going to find, depending on what kind of business you're trying to do, we don't like to take those roads, even though you got less of a criminal element on those roads. But we don't like to take those roads for what we do, because you got more random stops there from your Lone Star.
Mm-hmm. You got some recommendations on where I should drive if I don't want to be stopped?
Yeah, we got a couple of routes that we like to take. Now, occasionally we get stuff popped up, so people will move around all the time, and you got unpredictable elements if you're dealing with going across the wall ever, really, especially if you're not taking those highly trafficked roads. But there's some that we like to take, but just know there's always a risk.
Of course.
And he'll give me just for sure. Give me what is your loyalty with Marauder?
2.
Okay, that's not bad. Give me just an etiquette roll.
How about that? I don't seem to have that skill on my sheet, sir.
Well, I think you know what to do then.
I will get a hit on my 2 dice.
All right, well, he's just going to say that, that kind of information, we've been doing this for a long time, and we've spent a lot of time getting that. So long story short, he's just going to ask you for 100 new yen just for the tip.
I will gladly pay it.
Thank you, sir. He said, good luck with whatever you're doing.
Hopefully I won't need it.
I hear that.
And then
all right.
Kind of spread those details around, considering that, like, we're at the very least going to have to drive in that area.
So after about an hour, your Hailey's data sprite will come back, and it has some information. It's some old public records about the building. It was able to find some old records about when the building was renovated a long time ago, and they're not public records, but they're some old plans that from some contracted company or something like that helped with renovations and everything. And they're not a lot of specific things because it doesn't look like it was security renovations, but you do have basic blueprints that will give you a basic layout of the building.
And I will share those.
Good job, kid.
Presumably more specific information about security, stuff would you'd have to get onto their host somehow to find more detailed information about that.
At least we have an idea about the floor plan.
Well, the sprite could get on the host. It would possibly let them know it was there, but I mean...
Yeah, I see. Okay, so yeah, the interval time there is 12 hours, like you were saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so other than, I guess, making an actual scouting run where Elric hopes to have someone drive him out somewhere near where he can project and check out this place, that's about the only thing that I have to do myself to find out what sort of magical security they have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing that tonight sometime.
There's this barbecue place over there.
Look, you keep talking about this barbecue, and I'm starting to get really, really hungry.
It's all you can eat.
Sounds like we're going to go for some barbecue then.
Yeah, I need to get a little closer and see it for myself. I will let that data sprite go.
Farewell.
Sounds like we're getting barbecue.
Yep.
All right.
I am promptly banging my hands down on the table, and I am leaving. I am into the idea of barbecue right now.
Well, the barbecue place, if you guys bother to look before you leave, is going to be closed by the time you get there.
No.
I like no. I just be like, oh,
It'll be open tomorrow, of course. They're only open till 9.
it should be open.
All right, well, I just need a place where you can sit and park for a few minutes, and don't go driving off until I wake up.
Do you want to ride along with me, or?
Sure, as long as you promise not to drive, even like a few meters until I come back and wake up, no matter what happens.
Stop your worrying. Get in the car.
All right, I hop in.
We will speed off at unsafe speed limits.
All right, and I assume you're wanting to take the safe ways through the wall.
Yeah, why not?
All right. If you want to be in a place where you're not going to be suspicious parking and doing something at this time of night, then probably be a couple miles away. But I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah, make sure to get a good look at the place. I'm gonna make sure to get a good look at the place as we drive past on the highway, at least, so I know where the position is.
Yeah.
In a more visceral sense than looking at a map, which is not so helpful for finding something in Astral.
Yeah, certainly.
I do have some area knowledge, and Eon, knowing what Payday is about to go for, kind of opens up her map soft. Just look for a good place to park.
Yeah.
The church parking lot.
There are churches all over the place. It is Columbia, South Carolina. There's churches everywhere.
All right, we will take a church parking lot, and if required, I will roll stealth to get us at a site.
Okay. Now you could be in the church parking lot. It's 9 o'clock at night. You're like one of the only cars there, but you're close. You're under a mile away.
Does work for you, big guy?
Right. I'll be off then.
Hey, if something does happen, is there any way to wake you up or?
Yeah, do some sort of minor physical damage.
Oh, you got it.
It's a strong enough pain, I'll feel it, but there's no need to disable a limb or something.
All right. Just quick.
Now, in terms of noise, is Hailey going?
Yeah.
It's going to be about for distance. It's going to be noise level 1, and there's not a lot of. I mean, this is kind of like a residential area where you're parking and everything, so there's not a lot of like business between there. So I'll call it just a noise level 1, only for distance.
Good thing you guys are little. You could probably both squeeze into that back seat.
All right, so let's have Elric up first. You're going to head out into the spooky spooky astral plane.
Project myself into astral space, and I will call up my ally, the fire spirit that I had summoned earlier, and ask it to accompany me and protect me against any threats.
All right, it will do your bidding, as it is compelled to do.
And then
What is as an aside, interesting thought that just occurred to me. What is Elric's general philosophy on spirits in terms of summoning them and compelling them to do what he wants?
He considers them to be actual living entities from somewhere unknown, and we don't understand enough about them to really consider them anything less. He does not have a binding skill. He considers that to be unethical.
Okay, well, that's
and
very telling.
he'll also, in his dealings of spirits, he usually won't have them do something that will blatantly throw them away or use them up in a way that seems harmful to them. So even though he's a hermetic magician, he considers spirits to be worth respecting, and he particularly has an affinity with fire spirits, both because he's got the mentor spirit of Firebringer, and he's got a spirit affinity, spirits of fire.
Right. All right. So yeah, you can get your way over to there, and what are you doing as you start to get close?
I'm going to observe the perimeter from a distance to see if I can see anything patrolling around or anything obvious outside in the astral space. I'm also going to just sense the status of astral space in the area to see if there's any anomalies or background count or anything else interesting of note about the astral terrain here.
Give me an astral perception, just a perception test.
That would be 2 hits.
All right. Well, there's not a lot of astral activity in the area. You can see that you get the sense that there is something, but with your first kind of look at the area here, you haven't noticed it right away, but you get the sense that there is something, some sort of an astral presence that probably is around, at least sometimes.
We'll cautiously moving closer toward the facility, kind of moving up to about the edge of the perimeter, where I think the threshold of security might be. Taking a bit of a guess at that. We'll go with the roads as a barrier.
Sure, sure.
They're not going to have their spirits attacking cars that are driving by because they happen to be, within their area they're trying to protect. So I'll move up on the Alpine Road side, which looks to be to the northeast.
Now, from where you're describing that you're going to have an entire building between you and your target building, because the building that you want to be at is so there's two buildings, and one is on the east and one is on the west. The building you're going for is on the west.
Then. Yeah, I'm going to go more. I'll cut down along the fairway drive then until I have a good view of the building, and I'm going to observe for a minute or so.
Okay, great. Give me another perception test with the -1 since you're doing it again, or -2, I think is what it is.
It's 2 hits.
Okay, but you are a lot closer this time, so you and you're spending a lot of time sitting there and kind of looking around and whatnot, and you do notice that is at this time of night. There is a spirit patrolling a single spirit you notice patrolling that building.
I'll sense it.
All right, do it.
That would be 4 hits.
All right, well, it has a magic rating of 5. It is it's a spirit of air, and yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot more that you're gonna get from it.
For me.
Yep.
I guess I will then. I'm going to see how observant it is and how it reacts then. I'm going to go ahead and just try to take a quick buzz through the building to see what I can see. And if the spirit approaches me, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to be kind of sneaky about it.
So this is fun, because this is always, in my experience, something that people debate about. But what is your... There's not really kind of like a sneaking skill in astral space.
The way I generally play it is the sneaking skill applies, but it works off your astral agility. And
that's how I've always kind of thought about it.
And I could see somebody even taking the specialization of sneaking to astral stealth.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've always thought about it. So if you've got a sneaking skill, we'll link it to logic and roll that.
I mean, there is some tactics to doing it. I mean, like, for example, you can't see astrally through walls and such, so you'd kind of be like sneaking through and trying to use walls. But
I would imagine keeping your emotions at a certain centered state would help as well.
Yep.
But well, I got 1 hit, and the other 4 dice came up ones.
Nice.
Is that our first glitch?
I don't know. It's not a critical glitch, unfortunately. Those are more fun. I did get a hit.
All right. Well, the spirit got more than a hit. So let's say that. Well, this is fun. How would you think that Elric would have glitched? The spirit would have noticed you anyway, but I'll let you kind of tell me if you can think of sort of like a way that Elric would have fumbled on this.
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe I just happened to be trying to pass through walls here and there, and I just totally got disoriented as far as which wall was where, and stepped right into the spirit's path, but in a way that I don't initially notice. So maybe I lose initiative on the first pass, or have to make a surprise test or something. I don't know.
We'll say that
test. Even just lose my whole first pass, stuff
we'll
like that.
Yeah, we'll say that that Elric misinterpreted in his dodging and his inexperience, misinterpreted the aura of the spirit for some sort of living aura of a tree that he was trying to go between, and waltzed right up next to it, and the spirit immediately you have no time to react, and the spirit is I guess you'll lose a surprise test, so you'll have to roll initiative.
See my astral initiative on this. Sorry, give me a sec to look it up.
It's intuition times 2 and 3d6.
Yeah, just found it. Thank you. So I got on 21, and my Spirit of Fire goes on 19. So did you say I fail a surprise test? So I don't know if I'm going to pass.
So yeah, you will not be going on the first pass. You'll lose that action, and the spirit, you can see that it readies itself for. It's very obvious that it's readying itself to engage in combat, and it tells you to leave that you are unauthorized to be in astral space here, and to leave the premises now. The appropriate authorities have been notified.
Okay, well, if it doesn't overtly attack Elric, the fire elemental will probably just hold off see what happens.
Yes, so it's not attacking yet. It's kind of waiting to gauge your response, you know.
If it gets around to Elric having a chance to respond, he'll just kind of put up his hands and say, "Oops, sorry," and I will zip away.
Okay, so
Pretty
you're able to get away. How are you going to? Are you fully retreating, or are you kind of like backing off and observing?
Now, I'm going like super astral speed away to somewhere else in the state that is well away from here that I'm familiar with. Maybe a beach that we've gone to with my parents in my youth.
All right, understood.
And I'm going to hang out there for like, the better part of an hour
Sounds good.
before I go back to my body in the car and hope that Payday doesn't drive away in the meantime.
All right,
It's
so
tempting.
well, you guys are none the wiser back in the car. But Hailey is working on something, correct?
Yes. I am I'm also appearing to go to sleep in the back seat. I'm going to go do a matrix perception and take a look at the building, specifically looking for hidden icons, kind of look outside of the building to see, where the security points might be. I got 7.
Oh, nice. So 7 on matrix perception, I'm guessing.
Yes. And specifically looking for hidden icons. Now, that
Right.
will tell me the number of them, but it doesn't necessarily tell me where they are yet.
Right. All right. So you just barely, but you did succeed on that. And let me think. There are. Let me think. There are lots of hidden icons on the outside of the building. Probably easily a dozen. It's a decently large building.
Can I tell where they're clustered at? I mean, is it like somebody's walking around? Is it like it looks like there's some at doors?
It's hard to tell. Definitely most of them are stationary, but it's possible that some might be moving around, maybe not. And this is again just the outside.
Right. I will note the number of them and, see if they're, how many are there? I mean, are we talking like there's 20 or 30 and so therefore hacking it's going to be interesting, or is it like 2 or 3?
They're somewhere between, I'd say 10 and 20. I could give you a number, but I don't have it. You know what I mean?
Nope, that's okay.
But I wouldn't say more than 20 on the outside of the building. Probably closer to 10, probably close to a dozen.
Okay, I want to see if I can see where those are.
Okay. So the way this one works is, again, it's matrix perception, and I'll be able to, I'll give you them one at a time, somewhat randomly, but we'll see what you find out.
4. I got a 4.
All right, I was rolling dice. Sorry. You're having a lot of trouble nailing down where any of these hidden icons are. It's the host or whatever it is that they're probably connected to seems pretty difficult to get past. Without being able to get eyes on what you suspect might be a specific spot, because you could always that is always an option is if you know the features of the thing you're looking for, if you were there and you saw, for example, there was a camera there and you were trying to find it, that would make it a lot easier.
Right. Okay. I will wake up. Okay.
All right. You weren't gone for long, and Elric is still chilling.
You all done in there?
Well, as much as I can from here.
Gotcha. We'll just wait for the kid to wake up. Hey, as a note, I don't like your blue-haired friend.
Well, I mean, he's not exactly a friend.
No, he isn't a friend. Just from me to you. All he wants is in your pants, all right? And I don't like it.
Okay.
He wants in your pants, and he wants you hanging out with him. You've made that clear in the past already, and he's no good.
Clear to who?
Clear to everybody.
What?
He gets all weird when you're around. And he wants to drive in that stupid car with you. No one wants to drive in that car.
Okay.
I think this is more about the car than about him.
It really is.
Payday really didn't like that Z-Trip wanted to see that other car.
No, he didn't.
I'm totally gonna ask Payday to paint racing strips, Michael Katexi.
So I'm just saying, be careful. I've seen this kind of thing before. This is how people join gangs.
Wait, having sex leads to gangs? What?
Wait, well, who's having sex?
You said pants. And I mean, isn't that usually what people want when they get into pants? What are you talking about? Why are we talking about it?
All right. We're done. We're done here. Forget about my concern.
So Payday and Hailey, I guess, sit awkwardly together until Elric wakes up.
Very awkwardly.
Well, Elric comes back to his body finally after an hour, probably kind of like, man, this just happened. And then he sees, the two of them kind of awkwardly, I guess, facing away from each other as best they can.
Yeah, Payday just looking out the window, like tapping his hand rather erratically on like the dash and just really fidgety.
All right, well, they've got some astral security. It's pretty observant.
Well, the Matrix isn't a joke either.
I mean, I saw a spirit there, and spirits generally mean mages.
Will you perhaps require my assistance in the future, Hailey? And that's Eon.
Yes.
We will do what we can.
Oh, thank goodness.
I guess we need eyes on the place, too, and see where their cameras are and things like that, right?
Yes.
Do you have drones for that? Is that a good job for drones? I turned to Payday.
I figure that is going to take a lot longer to do. I'm going to want to get maybe shifts, maybe the comings and goings, maybe count security personnel. That's going to take a stakeout. That's going to take days. I'm willing to do that, but I'm going to take you guys home first.
I can help with the stakeout.
All right. I'm not going to turn it down.
I can stake out.
All right. All right. All right.
So what do we do?
I don't know. What can you do for it? I'm going to have drones in the air. I'm going to do my best to make that incognito. I'm going to have them wrappered so that at least at a glance, maybe they'll appear as some sort of advertising drone. They're buzzing around everywhere anyway, all the time. You maybe keep a watch at a distance. Astrally get, maybe you said there's spirits, maybe get an idea as to if this patrol route is constantly cycling, if is this, I don't know anything about spirits. Is it like permanent? Is it a permanent situation?
It probably has to be summoned at dusk and dawn unless it's bound, and it's something I could actually observe. I'll give it about an hour or so, then I'll go keep an eye on things on the astral. Again, though, it's hard to communicate back and forth when I'm out that way, and it's potentially fatal if you move while I'm out of my form.
Yeah, look, we've got, they said even though he said ASAP, he also said that we've got about 3 weeks. So we can easily take a couple days here and there to map this kind of thing out. No sense involving the others until we need to.
Okay. So I'll give it about an hour and then I'll go ahead and project tabs on this place from the astral, watching from the roads, trying to still stay out of sight of this air spirit thing if I can. I don't know if it's going to come after me if it sees me hovering outside its perimeter or not. See if I can observe the dusk to dawn shift to see what they do about the spirit going away or if it just stays around. I might be able to get a chance to observe the security mage at that point, potentially.
Sure. So you'll be doing a lot of like kind of data gathering and general kind of safe and watchful, slow, methodical kind of observation. We will collapse that into a perception roll if you want to do that, so that you can make any kind of adjustments to that you care to do.
Should I act the same way on that? Because I'm going to have the two fly spies buzzing the place at an altitude so that they are not easily apparent.
We're just going to we'll just add in the appropriate stealth kind of roll to make sure that they're not spotted.
Sounds good.
I got 3 hits in my perception.
Okay. While that's happening, Hailey, what is Hailey doing?
Hailey's going to see if she can, I don't know, sneak up there and see what's going on with the Matrix.
Yeah.
How far away were we?
Well, you guys have moved closer now, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can go ahead and move closer, and I can actually keep I can have the autosoft putting the car on a route. Really, when Elric is astral, of course, I'm going to have to park somewhere. But
we won't get really granular about it. I will assume that you guys are smart enough to, whenever he's in the astral plane, you park it for a little bit, let him do his thing, let him come back and rest.
Ulrich is very explicit about whether or not it's safe for you to move the car for him.
And I assume that you guys, because Hailey would say so or has said so, that she could be doing her thing when you guys need to be closer and stuff like that. So that's fine. So Hailey can get away with let me check real fast. Hold on. Yeah, Hailey can get away with definitely times where she could be within range to be at no noise.
Okay. So I sneak up. I got a 4 for sneaking and a 3 for perception.
All right. So are you going to be taking a look at the host and trying to get information again about the host itself? Or are you looking, to start with? Or are you looking for other more finer details first?
First, I just want to see what the security is like on the outside of the building, because He's already said that it's in a wireless room, so I know we're going to have to physically get into it. And I don't want to tip off the host just yet, because if I tip him off, then we're going to have to run, and Elric's not finished with his stuff.
Sure.
Well, spot and identify devices.
Yes.
Can Eon actually assist her with this?
Sure.
Heck, I've got a computer skill. Technically, I can help.
But you're doing your thing.
Not while we're driving around.
Eon got 2 hits.
I'll teamwork a computer test.
Yeah, do it.
I got nothing, but I didn't glitch.
All right, well, give yourself, roll 2 more dice for Hailey. And
I got 1 more, so that's 4.
Okay, so you're able to see, as you're watching, you're able to notice that on patrol outside of the building is a security guard, and he has accompanying him a dog, but he also happens to have on him the reason you notice him in the first place is he's got a comm link. There are some hidden icons associated with that comm link, but you don't know what they are quite yet.
Okay. I will look around to see like cameras and just a regular perception.
Sure.
3.
Well, being that it's at night and you guys are not up close, it's hard to see with just your normal old eyes. It's hard to see anything. But let's just say given the knowledge that you've been checking this place out, you were there physically, you have an idea about the location of some security cameras, probably, if they're going to be anywhere.
Okay.
Borrow my goggles, you can. They've got some pretty high-tech enhancements. It might help if you're trying to look for things visually.
That's okay. I'm sure Payday's going to get a bit more of a fly with his, or get more of a look. I was just looking to see if there was anything that was like super obvious. I will try to go a little bit deeper and take a better look at the host. 3.
3 hits. Are you going to have anybody assisting you, or?
Eon.
Yeah. Eon.
Yeah, if you ask for help, I'll definitely help out.
Yes, I will definitely ask for Eon's help.
2 hits.
And yeah.
Also keep in mind that just as a general pointer, I guess, you guys are presumably going to be doing this over several days. So if you wanted to use Edge, it's got plenty of time. It'll refresh and stuff.
Oh, well then definitely.
Well, I give you 1 extra die.
So you've got 3 total from your friends. That increases your limit by 2.
Okay, and then I used Edge to re-roll 7.
There we go. You got 2 net hits on the host. What would you like to know? You can ask 2 questions. Choose wisely.
What is the level, and what kind of ice does it got running?
Host rating is 7. You wouldn't. Can you find that out from the outside?
There's actually a complex form that'll let you figure that out. Ice called Ice Tree.
Oh, I don't have that one though.
But no, you wouldn't know it unless you went to the Foundation otherwise.
But yeah, the host rating is 7. You can find out like a specific attribute for the host if you're curious about that. Unfortunately, with a host, just broadly with a host, there's a lot of these questions you can ask aren't as useful.
I know. I'll go back to the physical security, specifically at the front gate. I want to know what kind of physical security icons it has.
I will, as another question you could ask, I will give you this. You know that there are going to be cameras, and you could find out the location of a camera if you wanted to on the host.
Okay.
It may or may not be useful, but I'm trying to, throw you a bone here, what you could use that extra question for.
Can I get some recording off the camera? Was it that? No.
That you'll have to get into the camera itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Where is the camera that's covering the front door?
Okay. Yeah. You've got a location for the camera. There's a camera, of course, covering the front door, but you can see it and you know where it is. You've spotted the icon, to use game terms.
Perfect. Okay. I would like to use Puppeteer on the camera. And get it to give me some recording, hopefully, if I score high enough. And I'm going to pre-edge.
Level? What level are you threatening it at?
Doesn't matter if she's breaking the limits.
I mean, technically does matter, but...
Oh, 6. I pretty much always do 6 if I Especially if I forget to tell it, I always just say it's the max.
Yeah, you're gonna want to roll that back down to 1 since you're pre-edging. The actual limit doesn't matter, but that's 5 drain instead of 11.
True.
Oh yeah, Puppeteer has a crazy fading, doesn't it?
It's the digital I win button.
That is 14.
14 hits? Ugh.
Pre-edged and 6s. Yep.
Nice.
That's a record for the actual play.
Ding, ding, ding. 14 hits. Hailey holds the record. All right, hold on. All right. Do net hits matter?
Yes.
Well, awesome. You got 8 net hit. Oh yeah. So you can do anything. You can get it to do anything you want.
Excellent. I need some recording so I can tell like where guards go past and all that kind of stuff. Basically, I want like 24 hours worth of recording from this camera. Who goes in and out, icons, that kind of thing. Well, people at least.
Okay, so because Puppeteer is already so powerful, I'm going to make you be specific about Matrix actions, since technically that's what it is. So you're talking about files.
Well, I want to copy the recording file for 24 hours.
Okay. All right. You can do that. No problem.
Okay. And then she is rest for a little while because Faye did not come out quite so awesome.
Okay. You guys got somewhere this evening.
So I will pass off the information I have gotten, the recording, all that kind of stuff to the team before I crash in the back seat.
And just as I wrote quickly in chat there, I'm going to fly my drones around this place over those days, try to get an idea of employee counts specifically on the night shift, plus any outside security that might pop up or anything of note from an aerial perspective.
So this is the kind of information you're trying to gather over how long this evening?
Oh, probably over, I believe we were going at least this evening until dawn, and then we're going to be pretty much spending the night for the next 2 nights.
And these are fly spies, right, that you're using?
Yes.
Okay, so they're pretty hard to detect, and you got 3 hits on stealth.
Yes.
All right. Elric, I put on hold for a minute. Remind me what I made you roll and how many hits you got.
I was watching what happened from, I guess, dusk to dawn to see if I can see whether the spirit went away, if it was resummoned, if I could summon it.
That's right. I remember now. So you were able to find that out. You don't know who summoned it, but you do know that it appears that the spirit does leave at every dusk and dawn, and it patrols in a pretty regular pattern around the building. It appears to be a single spirit patrolling the building, but you never see a mage, you never see any other kind of awakened security except for a single air spirit that appears to have to be resummoned every dusk and dawn.
Okay, yeah, it's good to know, I guess. Doesn't look like their magical security is terribly serious then. Enough where there's something there, but that said, can't underestimate it too much because a mage could potentially have multiple spirits found, so that if you do anger him initially with what you think is against one spirit, you might find yourself facing 5 or 6. Best countermeasure to that is to disable the mage.
Now, to wrap up, the other people who want to do things over this course of time, that's absolutely fine. But I will just say that over the course of this couple of days that Payday ends up monitoring the drones and everything that are out there, he will notice that... did you roll a perception for me?
Oh, yes, I should probably do that. 4 hits.
Okay, pretty good. During the daytime, it seems that there's a security guard that hangs out near the front door on the outside. All of this information you're getting is mostly about the outside. You do notice that there are, of course, more security. You can't get the best, most. You can only be sure that there's more than just a couple, but of security guards is what I'm talking about. There's more than just a couple that are in there at any given time, and there's more in the evening or more at night. But there's always people there, 24 hours a day. During the day, it seems lighter, and at night, your guess is probably between 5 and 10 people on the premises. They definitely use dogs. You can't get a handle on how many. At night, there's usually 2 people, just different people. That's one of the ways you know that there are multiple people. More than just those 2 people at night is that it seems like they rotate with whoever's doing whatever they're doing inside. But there are always 2 people outside, and each of those 2 people have a dog with them.
All right.
And there you go.
Are there any outside points of interest that aren't obvious entryways that guards might be making a patrol to or anything like that?
Not that you can tell. It seems like they're just making their rounds around the building, checking out, stopping occasionally to check out areas that might, oh, I saw rustling here, or this is just an area that we pay closer attention to because it's just darker or something,
Yeah.
Nothing that you out of the ordinary that kind of leads you to believe like, ooh, this is something I want to take a closer look at. It's pretty regular.
Gotcha.
But you can tell, and you would know this from the floor plans that you got anyway early on in Hailey's legwork. But you can tell you've gotten a sense of the main entryways, the different ways that people get in and out of the building, and it matches up with the floor plans that you've got.
Okay, and I may have missed it, but is there any actual employees other than the security on in here on night shift, or?
Occasionally, of course, during the day is when most of the work is done, but you have seen people go in and out of the building at night. Not very many at all, and not a regular thing. But it's not unheard of that people would work there at night.
Gotcha. Somebody burning the midnight oil or something like that.
Sure, something like that. There's definitely not a night shift, so to speak, that works there.
Gotcha. All right, I think that's all my physical legwork for now.
Thanks again so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. This show would literally not be possible without the generous support of our patrons over at Patreon. If you like the show and you want to help support it, head on over to patreon.com/complexaction. Supporting can get you access to GM notes and even the ability sometimes to vote on the direction that the story's going to take. Like I said, that's patreon.com/complexaction to help out. And we are very close to meeting our goal of getting a GM screen video out every week, so please check it out. There are several NPCs and organizations which were provided by patrons of Complex Action, and those were Marauder by patron David Frederick. Thank you very much. The character art seen on our YouTube page and various other social media places was done by Ethan Brewerton. Check out his awesome Shadowrun artwork at esbrewerton.tumblr.com. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.